In this course, we'll be using Unified Modeling Language class diagrams, otherwise known as UML class diagrams. Okay, class diagrams describe the logical structure of a database system. And just some interesting tidbits about UML language is that specifications for UML is maintained by the Object Management Group, which is a nonprofit consortium of computer industry members. And UML also includes notation for several other types of diagrams, including several structure diagrams, behavior diagrams, and interaction diagrams. But for this course, what we just need to focus on is that class diagrams, which we will be modeling in UML, describe the logical structure of a database system. So getting started, taking a look at the building blocks for a UML class diagram, there's three different items that we want to be aware of, those being classes, associations, and multiplicities. Classes are separately identifiable collections of things about an organization that we want to collect and store. Associations actually depict the relationship between two classes. And then multiplicities describe the minimum and maximum number of times instances of one class can be associated with instances of another class. So taking a deeper dive into classes, they can represent a bunch of different things. They could be organizational resources, such as trucks or machinery. They could be persons, such as customers, employees, or they could even be events, such as sales, purchases, or cash disbursements. On the screen, you'll see an example of a class being the bank account. Some attributes of that class would be maybe the account number string or the balance, which would be in currency. And some operations within that bank account could be the deposit or the withdrawal. When it comes to associations, those actually depict the relationship between the two classes. So on the screen you can see that we have our classes, which are depicted in rectangles, being person, auto, dealers, and state. And our associations would be the lines that are running between, like auto and state. The association would be, licensing. Or the association here would be, what dealers are servicing the autos, or which person owns the auto. So when we see associations, we're looking for a line, and also some verbiage that would describe the relationship. Now let's take a closer look at the multiplicities. Multiplicities describe the minimum and maximum number of times instances in one class can be associated with instances in another class. If we were going to think about this in a binary association, there would then be two sets of multiplicities indicating a minimum, whether participation is optional, we would have a 0, or mandatory, we would have a 1. In a maximum binary association, values could be 1, or if we wanted to say many, we would put a star. So let's take a look at the example that we have in front of us, which is taking a look at registered vehicles. It's an option that a person owns a vehicle, but it is mandatory that the vehicle be owned by a person in a registration situation. So let's take a look. We've got our two different entities here. We've got a person and we have an auto, okay? And we're taking a look at the relationship of ownership, okay? So if each person, okay, so starting here, owns, we're going to take a walk down this relationship. They can own a minimum of 0 autos, so you can be 16 and not own an auto yet. Your parents probably own that auto. But you could be 16 and, own several autos. So that's what this relationship is saying here, is that you could own no vehicles or you could own many, okay? But now if we want to take it from the auto perspective, we'll travel along the owns line. And each auto is owned by a minimum of one person. If we were looking at auto registrations, they would have to be registered by at least one person, and a maximum of one person, because each auto is only registered to one person. So that's what we're taking a look at here. Some other options for multiplicities. We had the 0 to 1. 1 to 1, that means there is only one. 0 or more would be seen with a star, or 1 or more would also be seen with a star. Well, that's a quick look at the UML class diagram and language. Thanks for joining me.